Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Bay Area Deaf Arts Panel and Workshop. Today, Saturday, January 16th, 2021. I'm your host, Antoine, also known as Purple Firecrow. I'm really happy that you're here. Now, before we start, I want to acknowledge the land that I stand on. You know, I'm here in Oakland, California, the land of the Ohlone people. I want to give respect to the Ohlone people. So I'm hoping you guys are all excited to watch today, yeah? Now, before we start, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce the interpreters. So come on, interpreters. I have interpreter Jay. And I have interpreter Kaylee. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for providing access to all deaf, hearing, and counterparts alike. So thank you, interpreters. I'm just really, really excited. Some may not be aware, yesterday, no, 2 days ago, we had the grand opening for the Bay Area Deaf Arts. The gallery being hosted by SOMArts. Today we will have the workshop as well as the panel, and then I'll show you how to access the gallery. Now, with our current crisis being locked down here in California, it's a dire time that we're going through. We really want to be in person. Does that mean we have to stop this event? No, it still must happen. So from today until February, 21st. So later on in the show, I'll show you how to access the gallery. So don't leave. So we will have kind of a chit chat one by one with our panelists. So let's have Deepa first. Come on in, Miss Deepa. How are you, Deepa? How are you? Being stuck at home with COVID going on, I'm just thrilled that I have this opportunity of chatting with you. So we're going to do just kind of a quick, short bio. So give me 1 second. Wow. Deepa, you went to university in London, got a degree in graphic arts, moved over to California, works for DreamWorks. Incredible. So I have a few questions related to your time at DreamWorks. What a beautiful bio. The experience that you had. Do you mind giving us kind of a brief description of the photos we have here today? Can you explain this? Yeah, I was born in India. You know, the fruit, vegetable, you know, it's a cultural experience. And moving here to California, I was able to have that same similar experience as home. So at the farmer's market, I was, you know, able to collect fruits and vegetables. I love my home in India. So this was a structure that was made for DreamWorks. You were involved in all of these films as one of the artists? Yes. About 6 or 7 years, I was involved in these different films as one of the artists. Each of these films took about 2 years. You know, my past life, that was my past life. Yeah. You know, because of COVID, you know, I couldn't go to the farmer's market. And it was really sad. So I had fruit boxes delivered. So that inspired me to use the fruit as my motivation and inspiration to get back to artwork. And this portrait is of you, Mr. Antoine, the first time we met. This is, you know, we met through SOMArts and through the curating process, and you've inspired me so much. You know, I kind of got some of the inspiration through watching you on YouTube, and the way you move, it's so beautiful. It was just natural. And it's natural that I had to create a piece for you. That was for me? I didn't know that was me. Yeah, you know your name, Purple Firecrow. Yeah, I saw that, but my brain didn't make the connection. Yeah, it felt natural to do. So I feel honored. Thank you so much. We have so much of your original work in the gallery that's never been seen anywhere else. What a treat. So before I was doing a lot of texture art, and it's something that I really loved and just the beauty of being able to touch and merge the texture of the canvas with the watercolor. Ooh, you know, with the red yellow blending that you're able to turn, and it turns into an orange tint. You know, blue and yellow mixing together turns into green. I'm really just fascinated with your art. And so many people should see more and more of your art. Now, I have a cool friend that'll be popping up and asking you quite a few questions, but I'm gonna hold that for him. So thank you so much for coming and giving us a brief explanation. Thank you. That was so cool. That was Deepa. I'm not bring on my other friend. We may be having some tech issues. So be patient with me. So as I begin to improve my tech skills, we'll have these things resolved. So Carla, come on in. I'm just really, really excited that you're here. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, a lot happened in 2020. Everything is going on, everything's being offered visually, but I really miss that in person. What I'm going to do is give this time to show the audience a little bit about you.
Sure, sure. Yes, I always love to use the captions and social media. So this is my website.
So I know that, you were moved and inspired to take different languages and trying to display that within your photography of language deprivation. Yeah, basically we're human, right? We're all living together. Your mom's deaf children. So you've documented through photography. That's so cool.
Yes.
This took a long time, right?
Yeah, this was about 8 years ago I started this business. I've always had a passion for photography, my twin sister as well. Both of us really loved photography, videography, dancing. So we would do that together, and my parents really instilled that passion in us and our love of film, and our parents really supported that. And it wasn't a cheap hobby. Absolutely not. But it was not for waste because I've really utilized this and turned it into my art. And so I've always loved photography and documentary, photojournalism. Um,
I love being a fly on the wall.
and I don't want to be a fly on the wall. Yeah, I try and be a fly wall so that I can document these candid moments and really be able to take advantage of that.
So we're gonna, if you don't mind, giving us a little background of what the people will see in the gallery.
Yes, this photo is really, really, it's so important to me. This is related to gender and transgender identity. This picture really is a representation of a non-binary approach, and so this can be a trigger for some, and also it can be really just upsetting for the oppression that females have gone through. And so that's what this is focused on. It's called She. It's focused on that approach and the oppression that we've gone through and that society has placed on us. Originally, this was going to be a part of the gallery, and so I couldn't change it because of COVID. I wasn't able to install it in the gallery, but this is putting it up to scale. So these photos are just me really playing. They aren't me just playing around. This is the actual image, and this is 5 to 7 feet. And so you can see there's a short clip that I made. We could play that.
Soon we will have a video demonstrating exactly what you said. But first, I'm going to have my friend Antoine pop up. He will do the Q&A. Just give the audience a little taste of what they will see in the gallery. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your participation in the gallery.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for acknowledging myself and other artists, other deaf artists.
Speaking of other artists, the following Saturdays, like next week, same time, same place, we'll be speaking with other artists about their work. So every week we'll be offering 2 artists and discussing some of their work. I mean, I'm just incredibly memorized by them. And after each workshop, I'll guide you into the gallery and show you how to access it. But before that, come on, my friend Antoine.
Hey,
what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm still black.
Yes, we are. Yes.
I'm great today. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I'm happy you're here. Some people may not know who you are. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Antoine. This is what my sign name is, Antoine. And I'm here to support. I am here to support you, Antoine.
Antoine's a wonderful human being. It's important that we give people opportunities to leave. I love giving people recognition of their art. Antoine, we have 2 amazing artists here today.
Yes.
Do you mind asking them a little questions about who they are? Audience, once Antoine finishes the Q&A, don't worry, you'll have the opportunity to ask questions as well. So you can go ahead and type those questions in the chat box. So Antoine, take it away.
Okay, ready? Hey,
Hi.
Claire. Hey, Deepa. Right? Yes. Claire, your story regarding, your photo called She. Wow. Showing your art for us all to see. Really hats off to you and your
Thank you.
work. It was amazing. I'm just wondering, if it just made you feel just so proud of who you are. And I loved, Deepa, your paintings. Oh, the texture and your involvement in those DreamWorks movies. Wow. So I have some questions, just to follow up on both of your work
Sure.
you've
Sure.
done.
I'm ready.
Deepa, I am enthralled by your water paintings. Why did you start that?
Good question. First off, I think it's easy, simplistic. Water, there's no oil. You don't need a large canvas. You could use something small, some easy paper. The paper's light. That's it. You can have it really accessible.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. It is, it has a simplistic element to it, and it's cost effective, which is nice. Claire, question for you. Oh, you froze, Antoine. Would you mind being able to do that again? Yes, your photos. I'm wondering, what is the story behind them?
For each picture?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I'm really, I really harp on storytelling. All of my Instagrams that has these photos with the descriptions. My pictures are how I feel. It's a reflection of how I'm feeling. I try to caption everything within that photo. So that photo titled "She," and so I'm really happy that I can mention there's, that innocent age, that curiosity. But when is it not okay to not have a shirt? The boys doesn't matter what age. So I'm curious on why is it that there's a boundary for for girls. That society that has kind of triggered our minds to believe that it's, taboo. The non-binary, which that look. There's always somebody reporting on my Instagram account about my child. They always have this misconfusion of the identity. Can you identify if it's a girl or a boy? No, but it's your assumption.
Right.
So I put in the title "She" to give. So that's why that picture is really, really important for me.
Wow, it's really great to be able to, know that story and for people to be aware of it as well. Deepa, you were involved in the making of the movie Kung Fu Panda 2, and the wood that you were able to paint. I'm wondering how you were able to make that, how you were able to paint that texture.
Is the question why I worked for the movie?
Oh, I'm freezing. I'm wondering how you decided to make, when you decided to work on the Kung Fu Panda movie.
I was just kind of in the right place at the right time. So each movie requires about a 2-year time frame, and they
Oh,
select individuals to participate in each movie. And so they have individuals participating in separate movies. So for my time at DreamWorks was 7 years, so I was involved in the equivalence of those movies during that time frame. That graphic design, was something of my past life.
and I'm wondering, this is a question for both of you. What is the importance of having and showing deaf artists?
Deepa, would you like to go first? No, Claire? Okay, sure, I'll go. Honestly, deaf art, we don't appreciate or value it enough. People think that, it's art is associated to that of the language deprivation, but there's so many different various types of artists. But like there's different identities of those individuals who do various forms of art, just like Deepa, who I have fell in love with that type of art, the water painting. So I don't think deaf artists are cherished enough, uplifted enough. Deaf people are already working hard enough in this, in trying to thrive in a predominantly hearing world. It's important that we work together. Different opinions, personalities, styles, which are fine. Bringing that together, uplifting each of us. With Deepa doing those DreamWorks movies, I didn't know that. I think it was important that we have that recognition, that we demonstrate that it's important that we demonstrate our deaf artists. Right, yes, Deepa says, I think we need more and more and more unity. It's very tough, trying to get people, and just like what Antoine did, putting this together, this gallery, it's a great example of something like this, that we need more of this.
I agree. I do completely. And one more question. I'm wondering if you could, make a summation of your art to show others, what would you say and why would you say it?
What I want to show, for me, I love to share. I'm very open. I'm an open book. What you see is what you get. And so I show people who I am through my photography. If I can't share who I am, then I'll explode within. Deepa saying, I'll go to the farmer's market every day. I see fruits and colors and oranges, just the colors. I want to share my experience of what I see and what I'm experiencing, and I want to put that on paper. In California, having the ability to demonstrate different fruits, depending on the season. So in the wintertime, there's apples and oranges. In the summertime, different fruits that's showing up. So I want to show that timeline of season, which are the seasonal fruits, and where I can show people just that timeline of different seasons demonstrated in my artwork.
And if you don't mind, one more question. We've all encountered, barriers and, roadblocks in our art. What is some things that you've encountered in your own personal experience?
Yeah, of course. I'm deaf. It's always a struggle. I grew up in a hearing world, and especially, needing money, trying to find where I can, collect an income. All of the barriers that I had to suffer through because of just being deaf. And so DreamWorks gave me the opportunity to earn an income. And so I know my art that I produce may not produce a lifestyle of, advantageous for income, but it's just something I'm working on now. Yes, I agree now. I agree with Deepa. For me as a photographer, when somebody buys my piece, it just shows you the value of supporting each other, our ecosystem. But when in correlation to barriers, definitely. A lot of photographers, I'm self-taught, self-trained. I had to attend conferences, workshops, retreats, all of those predominantly hearing. And trying to have to advocate for myself if the conference was going to provide an interpreter, if I had to come out of my own pocket. So access issues, when trying to gain personal development. And so I just, instead of reaching out to other people, I started depending on myself and developing my own business, and teaching myself. And so I could teach others how to use the appropriate light compensation. And I'm developing an online course, how to deal with the different dimmings of lights, the sunlight, moonlight. So that experience of those barriers, dealing with communication access, I just felt like it was important to offer something that was more accessible to people that was experiencing like me, providing caption, voiceover, and something that you will see a little later in my demonstration.
I'm so happy that you were able to share, both of you. Thank you so much for being a part of this question and answer time. And so then next, we're going to switch it up, switch it over. We'll also have some questions that the two of you can answer. So the audience is going to submit some questions. The first is, what exactly was your role in the movies, Deepa?
My role was one of the texture, specifically texture art. So DreamWorks with each movie has various departments. So maybe you have a creative storyteller. You have the molding of characters. And so my department was specifically texture. Doing same as what you see in the movie, except just on paper. So that visual description of movement, it was just in a timeline of more of a grounding of a book. So somebody would be the creative aspect behind it. So you would have the department who would be the creative driving force. And then we would put their creativity on paper.
Oh.
So that was my responsibility.
Okay, the next question is for both of you. What is your advice for younger people to become a successful artist?
Don't let limitations be in your way. You already, as a deaf individual, you already are ahead of your hearing peers. Really, the hearing community is at a disadvantage because you already have an innate skill. It doesn't matter the ability to be able to hear or speak. You can figure out in different ways of communicating. So because as a deaf person, you've already had to figure out different ways of elements of communication. So as a deaf person, you're already being successful from birth. Yes, Deepa, yes, I agree. You just have to proceed. You have to be proactive. So for me, I have, you just have to be really just aggressive into your own success.
Another question, who are your role models? Who do you look up to for inspiration?
My role model is an everyday experience. Life, friends, family. I don't have one special person who I love. I love everyone. For me, I have two. I have one deaf role model and a hearing. One of my hearing role models, who I adore, just doesn't care. He maintains his style, his heart. So I love that type of beautiful personality. So my hearing mentor,
Sally.
She's no longer alive, Miss Stally. She did a lot of black and white. She did a lot of gender neutral photos. It was very powerful. If you can all Google Stally Ann, you can see her pictures online.
Okay, another question is, Claire, I'm also a budding photographer. I'm having a tough time figuring out the pricing and worth of my art. How do you figure that out?
We charge on time. We don't pay for the work itself, but we pay for our time as well. When I started this process, I was cheap. maybe $75. But as I advanced as a photographer, so did my equipment, because the equipment cost, the different type of equipment cost, you know, it depending on, you know, how busy I am. Now, if you upsell your price too much, then, you know, you're not going to get as much business. So you have to, you know, you have to kind of balance it out. So we're going to see how it works now, where I'm doing less physical photography. So it's kind of, you're based on your experience, your skill level, your equipment.
Let's see. Yes, you definitely need to be paid for your time. Absolutely. Another question is, hopefully that will give them opportunities and add up in different beautiful artists out there and find confidence and be able to perform. Yes, absolutely. Okay, are there any more questions, or are we all out? Let me see here. Looking far and wide. Any questions out there on the horizon?
Just so, just keep aware, on live Facebook, we're a little delayed.
Okay,
So
okay,
about a
okay.
2-second delay.
Okay, okay. There's a delay. That makes sense. Okay, well, wait a second.
Hello, everyone. Wow, they were really good questions, Antoine.
They were. It was so great.
Now, if any of you would like to buy and purchase their art, so I'm going to show the website. So SOMArts.org, they have each of the artists' pieces that are for sale. So I think there's really an important question for Deepa and Carla. It might be a tough one, though. Claire, are you ready? This might be a tough question. What is your role, do you think artists have in society? Or what do you think your role in artists have in social change? So how does society and art, how are they weaved together? How is social change and art weaved together?
Do you mind if I answer that? So, what role do artists have in societal change? The bottom line really is that art can cause distress. It can cause an emotional reaction, you know, in a way that, you know, you might not have felt before. Like, for example, with the Dust Bowl, many years ago, people have heard about it, you know, but when there was a photo, and a photographer went out and was able to show a mother with her starving baby and see the horrible situations that were happening, and you're able to document that, that's when people are they're gutted, and you're able to see the discomfort, and the viewer is able to feel that as well. You know, when you're sitting at home, you feel distance from that, but being able to see it really brings that distance closer in.
What about you, Deepa?
Absolutely. I mean, with painting, you can show a story. You know, you can show things that have been happening, and you can capture that. And it's more powerful sometimes than words. You know, it's a simplistic approach, but it's so powerful.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. The three of you are incredible. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for telling your story, sharing your experience, educating us, representing deaf art. Does anyone have a last message that they would like to give to the people?
I do. Claire does. These earrings that I'm wearing, look at how gorgeous. I bought these from a deaf artist, a deaf jewelry maker. Look at that. Woo! Oh, please send me how to buy those. Oh, I will. I will. I'm really big on supporting deaf businesses, and Deepa is saying I am as
Yes.
well. And so we really need to support each other, collaborate with each other, rather than scraping by. If we support each other, we'll all be able to thrive. And so, that's my own personal opinion. So I'll post where to get these.
Deepa, would you like to give the audience your final words?
I mean, mine is just take advantage of this online opportunity. Don't let COVID stop you. Don't let COVID ruin your day. Really, it's your mindset is important, so just take advantage of this time.
Now, for everyone, we will have an intermission. So, Claire and Deepa, let's share y'all's social media.
Oh, my Instagram? Yep, that's it.
So for Claire's website, it's www.clarecassiddyphotography.com. Her Instagram is at if you were a child.
Oh, there's such beautiful photographs, Claire.
Deepa's website is www.bionicdeepa.com. Her Instagram is at BIONIC Bionic Deepa. Wow. We'll be offering a workshop here very shortly by both Miss Deepa and Claire. Antoine, thank you so much.
No problem. Not at all. Claire's saying bye.
Thank you, artist Claire, Deepa.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Antoine. So nice to meet you.
Cool. Oh, whoa, we're not finished. We're not finished. We're going to have a short intermission. Amazing experience. Deaf artists. They will be providing a workshop in just a short time. They are beautiful people. Hey, we ready? Now it's time for our workshop led by Miss Deepa. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Deepa. Love to meditate. I'm gonna decompress for a moment. Now you're gonna rotate your neck slowly. Lean to one side and then the other. Exhale. Inhale and lean to the other side. Slowly exhale. Continue your breathing. And exhale. Inhale, lean your head, tilt it back to the sky. Exhale while you lean your head down. Slowly up. Bring your chin down. Now reach both your hands parallel to the sky. Bring them down towards your side. Inhale. Take your left arm. Bring that up and down. Now both. Straight up and down to your side. Keep your elbows straight. Lean up. Stretch back down. Clasp the heel of your toe, of your foot. Lean back. And lean down again. Clasp the heel of your foot. Now flex your toes and point them, curl them. Flex. Point down. Flex up. Point down. Now we lay on our stomach.
Wow. Art. Breathing. Meditating. Art is powerful. Cool, right? Now, my friend Claire's workshop. Please enjoy yourself. Also, thank you, Deepa, for sharing with us your beautiful workshop, kind of the process of demonstrating human and deaf art. Taking the art from within and sharing it, and thank you for being vulnerable with us. Have a good day. And now, Miss Claire's workshop.
Parents alone, individual headshots, siblings with each child or children. You will watch me do all of these photo sets in today's session. I will be directing them what to do. I will also give advice on expressions and body movements as needed. I'm ready to show you how to do family sessions. In this hour-long session for the family, I capture the essence of that family's personalities. I also do traditional poses, but I look for the in-between moments too. It's those in-between moments that usually capture the essence of the family. You'll see how I try to show connections through their personalities via the behind-the-scene footage. I've already explained a lot in the video, and you will see how I do my process in the family session. I want to do a little bit of background of information about the family. This particular family has very reserved personalities. They're mellow, gentle. They are so sweet. I wanted to make sure that my photos captured that. And I did that by not directing them too much, but let the session flow. I gave prompts and I took my time as I photographed them. I made sure they were comfortable and engaged. You are able to achieve those capturing personalities through your photos by doing this one important part. Do a pre-session consultation. When a client contacts you and they're interested in having you photograph them, you schedule a slot and you send them a questionnaire asking questions such as how many children, if they have any, how old they are, what are their favorite things, what they like, what they don't like. As a family, what do you usually do together? And all of those answers are used as a source of inspiration as I photograph them. With that knowledge, I'm able to capture the family's true essence. As you watch me work with the family, see how I engage the family, see my workflow, and also how I captured those in-between moments. Enjoy the rest of the class. Meet the family. I always give a crash course on what it is that they should be doing. I say avoid using both arms because it doesn't show movement. Try to vary your movements of your hands and arms, like Jameson. That's good, but make sure you don't put your entire hand in your pocket because it crops out the hand, making it look like you don't have any. Yes, that's perfect. Now look at how he's holding his hands. That's good. You can go behind me because I'd like to show the viewers something. Right. See where the family is standing? There is a beautiful grove of trees and flowers as the backdrop. But you also want to grab the spacious field over here. And so by shooting at different angles, and I plan to do both, you can have trees as the backdrop as well as spacious skies. Javon, can you switch with your mother? I'm making sure that the family is set up in a traditional pose, and you get the grandparent shot, which means everybody is included and looking into the camera. Try to set up in a kind of a C-shaped formation. Almost all clients want this kind of shot. I do it first to get it over with before moving on to the individual shots. This is where I encourage people in the background to be natural, to make sure that your clients are aware that they are in the background so they don't make any unflattering looks. Can you smile? I noticed that he was not very comfortable, so I gave him something to do with his hands. Try this with your hands. Move your hands around together. This helped him to know that he didn't have to smile. And what usually happens is you get a happy face. I take turns with each child. This family has all kinds of ages, a teenager, a mini, well, almost soon to be tween, and a younger child. You have a wide range of age variation, and you'll see different types of personality. The next person I'm going to shoot is the teenager. Come on. The teenagers and fathers are usually reluctant. Don't let that deter you. They too like to have fun. And make them feel comfortable. This can happen by acknowledging them and giving them directed poses. You can move around, look down, look away. You can look serious or even smile, whatever you want. Now we moved on to the next set, siblings. This is usually the best part, as you can see the dynamics and try to capture that. You can see here that I'm setting up a position, and by giving them posing tips, I really love having the parents in the background to signify their part of being in the children's lives. There's something sweet and subtle about having the presence of them in the sibling photos. The next set will be focusing on the siblings individually. I try to make them engage with each other by giving them prompts such as squeezing the oldest sibling as hard as they can. And you can do something silly together. You want to avoid the obvious pose that you can get at a mall's photo studio. The flowers are amazing here. This is where I want everyone to be natural, such as chatting or playing together. As I was explaining to them what I wanted them to do, I noticed that the youngest kid was standing apart from his sister. I'd noticed this earlier too. And I thought that he probably didn't favor her, weren't giving me warm, fuzzy feelings. So I decided to have him move over to be on the other side. It is super important to pay attention to those little details in body movements and reactions. As I was doing this, the mother and dad were looking so sweet as he watched them. I grabbed that and got them into the frame. It is so important that you keep your eyes wide open and see any photographic opportunities and grab them. Okay, mom, switch with dad. I have to jump in there with an opinionated thing here. Often they seem annoyed, and the best thing I can do for them is to see them as toddlers and make them involved, give them praise, have fun. I am seeing here directing the dad. This is me trying to show emotions through specific instructions. Can everybody do a flat facial expression? I will focus on the family bond through them having touched the flowers, giving them each other flowers, and having them talk to each other while I shoot. You can use props such as those flowers or bring something like bubbles. But now, since we have them, let's use these flowers. Here you go. Try and touch these flowers. I could see that the youngest again was not comfortable, and I didn't want to do that part. I decided to have him go in to be with his parents in hopes that he would warm up and we could do better shots later. Here I am directing the team to pluck flowers and to give it to his sister. I'm encouraging the in-between shots. I'm good with the family portraiture, and now I would like to focus on the individual headshots, and then I will focus on the parents. Let's find a different background. Let's go over there. The ISO is 64, the shutter speed is 500, and the f-stop, wait a minute, is 5. The clouds keep moving, so it was really hard. My shutter speed, I had to set my shutter speed to avoid overexposure. Here I'm working with the teenager. I gave him flowers as a prop because I thought it'd be cool in addition to his portraiture. Look at how the sun keeps changing. Watch how I keep checking my camera setting just to be sure. You don't want to get stuck with bad raw shots requiring a lot of editing. I'm directing him with expressions. I always do this in order: smile, flat expression, and look away. Since he's taller than me, I have to ask him to kneel a bit. Smile. Oh, I know it's weird, but can you try and laugh? That always works. They usually go, huh? And a real smile and laughter will emerge. Look away. Perfect. That was beautiful. As I finished with the teenager, I turned and I saw the natural family bonding happening. I swooped right in and became involved with what they were doing with my lens. This is a perfect example of how to catch those authentic shots with the family. A perfect unplanned shot of an in-between moment. They just saw a ladybug and were excited about the sighting, and I grabbed that moment and captured it in photos. I'm asking the daughter what kind of shot she wanted, background she wanted, so they could feel they were part of the session. She opted for the flower fields. I informed the third child that I would photograph him next by the trees. I communicated with him in advance so he could feel prepared. Oh, are you afraid of spiders? That's okay. Move over here. And as I was directing, a natural scene popped up, and I grabbed that in between moment too of them talking about the spider. I love these kind of shots. When you photograph deaf family, it's really cool to capture them signing using their language. That moment was cool because they were talking about spiders and all the excitement and expressions that I was able to capture. So back to her, I proceeded to focus on her portrait, asking her to get inside the flowers as I wanted the flowers near her face. Sometimes you should take practice shots while waiting because there's another in-between opportunity. You'll see me directing her specific poses, but in these poses, she's actually doing something like smelling the flowers. When you do that, your face is hidden, so try to smell a flower that's a little bit higher up. Beautiful. Let me see your flowers. Hold it out like that. I'm asking her to smile flat and then look away. I like to do this every time so they're varied shots. I really love her hair on one side and the flowers on the other. Be sure to capture both sides so she can pick which one she prefers. Look over to the other side. Beautiful. Now you're done. You were a pro. While photographing, most of the time they don't know what to do because they're a little bit nervous. It's a good idea to give tips and compliments. They actually don't realize that they're doing well, and it makes them feel good. Acknowledge that in front of the camera. I love this because she knows her portraiture and cannot wait to see them when I post the edit. I'm going to make a quick appearance here to expand a little bit. That third child, he was totally fine with doing photos with the family and siblings, but when it was his turn for the individual portraiture, he just shut down and he didn't want to have his shots taken. So I respected that, and watch how I engage him and got some portraitures of him alone. It is crucial for you to respect the individual in the photo, regardless of if it's a child, because if there's any discomfort, acknowledge it, take your time with them. If the child is small, get down to their level. Give them toys or props, anything to distract them from the actual session. Sometimes those kinds of kids who rebel or are shy take the best photographs. They're the best subjects. That's my opinion. Anyway, let's see how I worked with that kid. Hey there, are you feeling shy? Do you want to give it a try to go by the ivy on the trees or those yellow flowers over there? Which one would you prefer? Mom, he's shy. So rather than forcing him, we proceeded with the session, doing the parents alone. I decided to let him be a photographer and give him a sense of what it was like not to be photographed. I put him behind the camera. He eagerly jumped into that role. I decided to use my second camera as a prop to distract him because who knows, he could eventually look up, and I thought the parents would have liked the shots of him being the photographer. I did not just give him the camera, I gave him a purpose so he would know that he was not the subject who had to cooperate with the shot. Sometimes when they are shy, I just give them my camera so they can feel involved. Sometimes they take better photos than I do. I shift my focus back to the parents to be sure to include the parents in your session, because often they're not taken together. They're the forgotten people in the house. I'm directing them what to do with their hands. Pay attention to the arms when you're photographing. Don't wait for them, and you don't want those dead arms. You don't want it lacking movement. So change it. Have them hold hands or arms and move around as you do it. Yeah, like that. Movements show emotions. Look at each other. I shoot them from every angle possible, whole body, waist up, tight shots, and even move around them when possible. Back to the hands again. I asked if the kid was ready to take more photos again, showing him that he was behind the camera instead of being the subject. I kept working around their hands because I wasn't feeling it. So I took my time to get the right picture. I decided to dictate their poses to avoid unflattering looks and to tell a story, looking for the perfect look. I'm trying to achieve a softness of them both. Oh, wait, you can see the reflection of his glasses. This is an important tip. When that happens, tell the client to move their head down a bit and shoot from a higher angle. Here I am taking my sweet time, and look at the kid who's also taking his sweet time as a photographer. I gave different directions, look away, look at each other. I sort of waited for the right moment, and as soon as he moved his arm, I got what I wanted. I really wanted to capture those beautiful colors of their outfits, and because I felt that it represented the family. So I asked the kids to move to that specific spot. I envisioned a perfect family shot and was setting up to achieve my vision. I'm giving very clear and specific directions because I have a specific shot in mind. If that happens to you, take your time as you direct. Nobody wants to be ordered about. I'm using my 20mm camera. I will not get your faces. I'm just focusing on the hands, the outfit of the kids in the background. I love how the father's chest is puffed out and how the kids were playing together in the background. I'd like to have you guys facing one another and holding hands together. Here I'm trying to get another shot focusing on the parents' love because I noticed They really were cuddly and sweet together. How about putting your heads together? I noticed the oldest playing with his siblings as I focused on the parents and quickly got some more shots and jumped over to them. And now I turn my attention back to the shy one. Hey, look, how do you like it? A soft nod, yeah. Can I have one of you looking into the camera? Quiet yes. I asked him for permission again, respecting him, and finally got one picture of him alone. And I think you are an amazing photographer. Thank you. The session was done, and I noticed they went ahead and changed into their casual clothes. The kids asked if they could explore the area, and I wanted to continue the session, so I asked them if it was okay if I followed them like a fly on the wall. I was able to, and the third kid really got some good time. When you do your session, do wait to the end and ask them if they have any additional ideas, any last shots. Is there something different shot that they had in mind? And when they said that they were done, and I said they could go ahead and play, I asked if I could follow them because sometimes you get the best shots at the end.
Wow. Great, right? Did y'all learn a lot? I know I did. I learned so much. Thank you, Claire, for providing us your workshop. Your story, amazing. So that's all of our artists for today. We had a panel discussion, interview, provided the workshop. Deepa shared a little of her experience and joy of meditation, yoga. Stretching is not easy. I almost tipped over. That's good for you. So go ahead and try to stretch. I know sitting for 1 hour, so go ahead and stretch with me. Stretch, arms up, arms to the side. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Continue that stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and move that body. Now go ahead and shake it. Shake it up. Shake it up. Okay. Y'all ready to go into the gallery? Who wants to know how? How do we get in? Okay. Well, the first action of business is to access the website, https://somaarts.org. So you click here, learn more. Ooh. And you take your cursor down. So what you will see is the gallery experience, but the dates are available January 14th through February 21st. I'm the curator, and here are our exhibiting artists. Well, as you know, also known as Purple Fire Crow, the curator. We have exhibiting arts as ASL Love, we have Claire, Deepa, Drago, John, Orchid, and Gunga. Now, I found all of these artists, all local in San Francisco. And collaborated with SOMArts. And so it'll show the upcoming workshops. So we have upcoming workshops for the next couple of Saturdays. So go ahead and please register, and so you can get information from the newsletter. The Cultural Center provides you more additional information of upcoming workshops. Now let's go ahead and I'll drive a little bit. Yeah, it's like a video game. Now, why am I just briefly getting through the visual points? Well, I want you to get the full access. So what you'll see in each of the bubbles is the title of the piece. So as you saw, we saw Deepa today. And so the piece that that we can see now was inspired by me. And so I feel so honored. It also will show how it was made. For example, this one is watercolor. It will show the size of the piece. And it will also inform you of the price. So if you were inspired to buy a piece, so if you would like to purchase a piece, you can go to gallery@somaarts.org. Yes. I hope y'all had fun. I want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in. Thank you to SOMArts. So next Saturday, we'll have another couple of panelists. Next Saturday, same time, we'll have my friend John and Orchid. So come and tune into them. Did y'all have fun? Because I had fun. So thank you, Deepa. Thank you, Claire. Thank you to the interpreters, Jay and Kaylee. Thank you, Urban Jazz Dance Company. Oh, my staff worked tirelessly to make this happen. And my cool friend, thank you, Antoine. And that's it for today. So peace, love, and I'm out.